Hello there.
Hello, beautiful.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to an exciting episode of Fandom Fights. Kim, you just keep looking better and better, I gotta say. Anna here to help me co-host this exciting singles match. 2 0-1 players, Brian Nussbaum, John Maher, both played very, very well in their first match. Just lost to two other rookies who are also doing very well this season. Good rookie class this year. If these are the 2 0-1s at the moment, I'm pretty happy with our proper rookies this year. Anna, you haven't seen much of these two. But put yourself in the mindset of someone who lost their first match. What advice do you have to these people trying to get that first win?
Don't lose.
That's good. Let's see how the players feel in the promos.
Hey, I'm back in Fandom. Did pretty well my first match. Darn you, Star Trek. But yeah, hoping today my performance is best. Me and John have two things in common. We're both all one, and the other thing, we both despise Chris Diaz.
Holy shit. Nussbaum just using his promo to down on Chris Diaz. I didn't think Nussbaum could punch down, but he did it. He did it. That is crazy. Will, how you feeling?
I don't know what to feel anymore. This is already like more fire than I was anticipating. But John, you got the goods. You know what to do. Let's play.
Yeah.
Anna, I've got the goods. Do you know what to do?
I sure hope so.
Great. Just like to remind everyone that the players here have free reign to say whatever they like, and I don't necessarily agree or disagree with it. But let's get into round number one. Round number one is going to work like this. There's going to be 10 questions in the realm of Fandom Fights. Each player is going to have 15 seconds to write down their answer. At the end of 15 seconds, we will say pens down, at which point the players will reveal their answer and say it aloud. Each correct answer is worth 1 point apiece, and should any individual player get all 10 questions correct in round number one, they would receive a bonus question. Each player will have 3 repeats, 1 challenge for the entirety of the match. Players, any questions as we get into round number one?
Nope.
All righty. Anna, what is the first question?
Your first question is in the category Creature Features. Which Apes film was the first one to feature the character Koba?
I had
Oh,
the reindeer kind of looked like it died, so
that'll be an interesting switch. Tim's busy being a father tonight.
Again, I think that's just something he uses as an excuse when he doesn't want to do things. I'm not even convinced
Okay.
Ellie's real. I think Ellie's like a friend's kid that he like brings over sometimes to
Borrows.
be like, look, yeah, 5, 4,
That's fair.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Brian
Dawn of the Planet Apes.
and John.
What Brian said.
Both, unfortunately, incorrect. We were looking for Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He is in the first new one. But with that, we'll move to the next question, which comes in the category of mixed bag. And your question is, who has the most composing credits in the Fast and Furious franchise? Can you say Fast and Furious franchise 5 times fast, 5 times fast? So like you have to include 5 times fast.
Probably not in 15 seconds.
Do it in like 10 then. I don't know.
Fast and Furious. What was it? Even
Fast and Furious franchise 5 times fast.
Fast and Furious franchise 5 times fast. Fast and Furious
5,
franchise 5 times
4,
fast.
3, you failed.
Maybe
2,
not.
1. Pens down. We'll go to John.
Brian Tyler.
And Brian.
What John said, Brian Tyler.
Brian Tyler is correct. Clean sweep, point apiece. So we move to the third question. What is it, Anna?
Your third question is in the category of Disney animation. In Lady and the Tramp, what is Tramp given for a Christmas present near the end of the film?
You know what the worst part about this is about Tim skipping out is I could have been eating taquitos right now.
You could have, but now they're actually defrosting on our counter.
Great. We
Maybe
won't even need
the
to-
ants. Are
we
the
won't
ants
even
gonna
need to
get
hit them up. Oh, the ants will be fine. 5. They're too big. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Brian.
A new caller.
And John.
A caller.
Caller. That's correct. 2-2. Let's move to the next question, which comes in the category of DC. In Superman 3, who gets injured while trying to take pictures of the chemical plant fire that Superman puts out? I don't think ants could take the whole taquito. Did you open the bag? Did you puncture the bag? That's tough.
We might be having some black bean looking items in our taquito.
That's disgusting. 5, 4, 3,
It's protein.
2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to John
Jimmy Olsen.
and Brian.
Same here, Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen is correct. Again, a clean sweep. Still tied 3-3. What's the next question, Anna?
Your next next question is in the category Law and Order. In Rush Hour, on what mode of transportation does Carter convince Lee to come back and help solve the case?
Dun, dun. Let's all go to court. Dun dun. Let's go make some laws now. Yeah. Some law.
Have you been practicing that?
We have a bunch of douchebags walking down a hallway. 5, 4, 3. Get cultured, Anna. 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Brian.
A bike.
And John.
A boat.
Both, unfortunately, incorrect. We were looking for a plane. Aeroplane. So with that, we'll move to the next question, which comes to the category of DreamWorks. What is the first name of Hiccup's mother in the How to Train Your Dragon franchise?
Heartbreaking.
That song was from the Academy Award-winning film Ted.
Heartbreaking.
Ted? Oh, get over it.
You're confusing.
Well, I just realized what you were saying about, come on.
No, I will never be over that. I've never cried harder at a movie
3,
in my whole life.
2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to John.
Valka.
And Brian.
Same here, Volca.
Valka is correct. Clean sweep yet again. Point apiece. Still tied. 4-4. You've missed and hit all the same questions. This is very interesting. As we move to the next question that Anna will read.
Your next question is in the category Wizarding World. Which Wizarding World film was the first where Dumbledore was suspended as headmaster of Hogwarts? That was a tongue twister. Which
Did
Wizarding
you get thrown off by the person who lives above us that clearly just dropped to the floor?
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure these headphones were like noise canceling, but I can, that sounds like.
Yeah, I
just
hope they're all
elephant
right. It
above
kind of sounds like they're just like jumping, like pile driving onto the floor.
us. Maybe they're like boxing or
5,
something.
4. Yeah, that's what's happening. 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Brian.
Chemistry ended, but I was trying to write Secrets of Dumbledore.
And John.
I just wrote Goblet of Fire.
Both, unfortunately, incorrect. We were looking for the Chamber of Secrets. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
I'm gonna watch those eventually, Nick. I promise.
That's okay. You take your time. Let's move to the next question, which comes to the category of the MCU. In Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Hank uses a special pen to enlarge what type of food for dinner? This question says supper, but I feel as
What?
though the question, it says supper, but
It does.
dinner.
Why would you write it like that then?
I did not. I believe someone of a different region of origin wrote this.
I see.
Is it the 1950s region?
So,
I almost made a joke in poor taste to our British friends, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to John, I think.
Kind of like the 50s over there. Pizza?
And Brian.
Savior Pizza.
Pizza is correct. This is wild. I feel like you guys have guessed on half these answers, but you keep guessing the same thing.
a pretty evenly matched game, I would say.
Anna, what is the penultimate question?
Your penultimate question is in the category of Star Trek. Who plays Beverly Crusher in the Star Trek franchise? I almost said French fries.
You almost said French fries? We were hungry.
I did. Yeah.
You want to hear something really stupid?
I would love to hear something stupid.
Koho used to pronounce it penultimate. Used to, like he still does. Like he said it wrong one time, and then he got a little bit of attention from it, and so then he was like, "I'm going to say it like this every time."
That's so interesting. Should I say it like that now? Penultimate?
I'd rather you not. 5.
No, I'm going to do it. Your
Please
penultimate.
don't.
I'm going to emphasize the T too.
Pens down.
Just for you, Nick.
Well, I'll go to Brian.
Maria Sirtis.
And John.
Gates McFadden.
Gates McFadden is the correct answer. So finally, someone has taken a lead, and it is John, 6-5. Let's move to the final question of round number 1, which comes in the category of sci-fi icons. And your question is, in Alien 3, who is the only inmate of Fury 161 still alive at the end of the film? How many of the words that I just said did you understand?
Absolutely none of them. Alive.
I said the word the.
But who really knows what the word the means? Can you give me a definition of the word the?
You functionally used the word while denying that you don't know what the word means. You said the word the.
Well, lots of people use words they don't know what they mean.
This is true. I will back you up on that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We will go to John.
I had a 50-50 shot. Morse?
And Brian.
I put Apone.
Morse is the correct answer. So John will widen the lead and bring us to the end of round number 1. He's up by 2-7 to Brian's 5. Is that what you have, Anna?
Wait, what? Yeah, 5-7. Yeah, that is what I have.
Also known as 7-5 as we move into round number 2.
Not the order in my board.
Round number 2 is going to work like this. It is the wheel round. We have a wheel with 8 fandom categories on it, as well as spinners and opponent's choice. Each player will get a spin at the wheel. If they like to spin the first time, they can keep it. If not, they could choose to spin again, but they will be forced to keep what they spin the second time. You'll get 5 questions in the chosen category, each worth 2 points apiece, unless you like to check on multiple choice, in which case it'll only be worth 1, but be on the lookout as stealing is available in round number 2. Your categories on the wheel today are YA, Star Wars, Horror Icons, Worlds of DC, Pixar, Epic Adventures, Disney Animation, and Creature Features. John, you are in the lead. Would you like to spin first or defer to Brian?
Do we defer here, Will? I know Fandom's a little different, but I guess we should defer.
If you feel like you want to take a step back, let's go ahead and take a step back. Let's see how Brian does, so we know what we need to do. That was a killer round 1. But yeah, you do what you do what you do. Let's defer.
Okay, we're gonna defer.
Sounds good. Brian, this will be your first spin. Lands on Horror Icons. Would you like to keep your spin again?
I can't miss Josh stealing my questions. I'll spin again.
Sounds like a plan. Brian, this will be your second spin. You'll have to keep what it lands on this time. And it lands on Epic Adventures. Okay. Adventures of an epic nature. Anna, you're pretty epic from time to time.
Thanks.
Would you like to read Brian his questions in the category of Epic Adventures?
I would love to. Brian, are you ready for your questions in Epic Adventures?
Yes, I am.
Sounds good. Your first question is, what was the first Middle-earth film to feature a character who is a creature called a skin changer?
I'll go multiple choice on this one.
Okay, your multiple choice options are A, An Unexpected Journey, B, The Desolation of Smog, C, The Two Towers, or D, Lord of the Rings, 1978.
I'll go with D.
One more time, Brian.
D for dog. D for dog.
Go ahead, Anna.
That is unfortunately incorrect, John, for the 1-point steal. Your options again are A, An Unexpected Journey, B, The Desolation of Smog, C, The Two Towers, and D, The Lord of the Rings, 1978.
The Desolation of Smog.
That is correct. All right, Brian, your next question is, who plays Henry Jones Sr. in The Last Crusade?
Sean Connery.
That is correct for 2 points. Your next question is, what specifically happens to creatures that are stabbed by the witch's staff in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
To be safe, multiple choice.
All right, multiple choice answers are A, they explode, B, they melt, C, they become mind controlled, or D, they turn to stone.
Turn to stone.
That is correct for 1 point. Your ultimate question is, what word does Elizabeth say to Pintel and Rigetti in order to get them to bring her to Barbossa at the beginning of The Curse of the Black Pearl?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, parlay, B, mercy, C, Turner, or D, Aztec?
Parlay.
That is correct. And your final question is, what type of object is
Athelas.
Athelas, great. What type of object is Athelas in Middle-earth?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice answers are A, sword, B, rock, C, plant, or D, scroll.
I'll go with C for cat.
That is correct.
All right. So Brian does very well in Epic Adventures, gets a score of 10. John with the steal is at 8. Is that what you have?
That is what I have.
Fantastic. Then we'll bring back in Mr. Cohen and the wheel. John, this will be your first spin. Lands on creature features. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
So first, do you remember what everything is in this category?
That's like Planet of the Apes, TMNT, Jaws, Jurassic Park, that whole deal.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I'm like 50-50 on that. I mean, he took away one of the ones that like I was like 50-50 on too, so that's good.
If you think you can get, if you think there's more out there that you can get more on, then let's go ahead and spin again.
Yeah, I'm gonna spin again.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. This will be your second spin. You'll have to keep what it lands on this time. And oh no, I wonder what you will pick.
Of course.
Let's get that old horror icons questions going.
Shocker.
Sounds like a plan. I assume you didn't need to confer with Will on that one. But John, I'll be reading your questions in the category of horror icons. Are you prepared for them?
My whole life.
Great. Your first question. Michael Myers survives an attack from the previous film and climbs into a river at the beginning of which horror icon or which Halloween film?
That is Halloween 5, Revenge of Michael Myers.
That's correct for 2 points. Tie game. Your second question. What singer plays Laurie's friend Kia Watterson in Freddy vs. Jason?
What the hell's her name? Kelly Rowlands.
That's correct. Rowland. Yeah, I would accept that for 2 points. Your third question, John. In A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010, Quentin's father has what job at the school?
Principal.
That is incorrect. Brian, chance for a 2-point steal.
Do I get a repeat of the question, or
you would have to use a repeat to hear the question.
I'll take a repeat on this one.
All right, Brian, that'll be your first repeat. The question again. In A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010, Quentin's father has what job at the school?
Teacher?
That is unfortunately also incorrect. We're looking for guidance counselor.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Guidance.
I ain't angry at it.
Sorry, you made me question things. But,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not confident enough to challenge that, but yeah.
All right, John, we'll move to your penultimate question then. Your penultimate question is, in Friday the 13th, 2009, how many people are killed on the camping trip where Whitney originally gets kidnapped at the beginning of the film?
4.
That is correct for 2 points. And John, your final question. In the original, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Nancy learns Krueger's name by finding it written on what object of his?
His hat?
That is correct for 2 more points. In the end of round number 2, John gets his score up to 16, Brian at 10. Is that what you have, Anna?
That is what I have.
Great 6-point game going into round number 3. Here's how round number 3 is going to work. It is the betting round. We have 5 more questions in the realm of Fandom Fights. Once the players hear the category, they can bet anywhere between 0 and 2 points on the question. If they get the question correct, they will gain those points. If they get the question incorrect, they will lose those points. We will play until someone is mathematically eliminated or we have reached the end of the match. Players, any questions as we get into round number 3?
No.
All right. First category you can bet points on is James Bond. Let's get bets starting with Brian.
To be safe, I went with 0.
And John.
I also went with 0.
Stats only. We love it. All right. Your question in James Bond. James Bond is involved in a prisoner trade with a foreign country in which Bond film? Would you like to? You look like just a head at the moment.
Oh, wait. That looks so much better. I should have done that the whole time. I look like an egg.
Yeah. Hard point.
You're supposed to look out for this stuff.
3, 2, I don't police people. 1.
Sorry.
Was that
Sabotage.
Okay. Did you say it? Okay.
I heard.
That'll be a repeat
I
for
heard
John.
you say repeat. I heard him say it.
Okay.
You did.
That'll be John's first repeat. Question again. James Bond is involved in a prisoner trade with a foreign country in which Bond film?
Only because it's for stats, you know, it's important.
Of course. I thought I heard something and I saw you do the thing and I was like, was that it?
We were bickering too much.
We were. Yeah.
I got the first syllable and this out definitely before you said 0.
That's fair. I also held off saying 10 stacks. I was like, did it happen? But anyway, wow, cool shoulders.
Thanks.
Yeah. 4,
I worked them out today.
2, aren't you cool? 1, pens down. We'll go to Brian, who bet 0.
Sorry, Maria Advance, Die Another Day.
And John, who bet 0.
The Living Daylights?
One of you is correct, and it's Brian. Die Another Day is what we were looking for. But no points gained, no points lost. Still a 6-point game as we move to the next category. What is that category, Anna?
The next category you can bet points on is creature features.
Let's get bets starting with John.
0.
And Brian.
Great Boy, Think of Like Job, 0.
Stats only. Here we go. Anna, what is the question in creature features?
What type of weapons does Leonardo most frequently use in the Ninja Turtles franchise? French fries.
No. We're still having taquitos after this, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I am hungry.
Good. Me too. Can't wait.
They're wasting away on the counter right now.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to John.
Katanas.
And Brian.
Nunchucks.
Katanas. That's correct. Swords also would have been acceptable, but katana, very specific. That's correct. But again, no points gained, no points lost. As we move to the third category that you can get points on, that category is criminal underworld. Let's get bets starting with Brian.
Not that confident. He saved 0.
And John.
I'll also bet 0. I graduated high school, so that's awesome. Let's go.
You're questioning Criminal Underworld. Who plays Rusty in the Ocean's trilogy?
There's got to be a record for the most goose eggs in a row, huh?
Honestly, maybe. You might not be like by both people. Yeah, there's been a match where someone was ahead by like 9, and then they just bet 0 the whole time, and then wound up losing.
Naturally.
Yeah.
That's fair.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Brian.
Brad Pitt.
And John.
Yeah, for the win, Brad Pitt.
And your winner, John Maher. Brad Pitt was the correct answer, but with that, since both players bet 0, Brian has been mathematically eliminated. Good match, John. You've been in a match with John before. I think in the future you'll be in a match with John, perhaps, depending on where this comes out. John is reminding me. I'm going to throw some names at you, Anna. John is reminding me of players a la Mark Menchaca, Bill Carriola, players who are very good in general movie trivia, kind of come into fandom, and they're like, I'll see what I can do. And because they're good at trivia in general, like the skill rubs off. 7 in round 1 is very good. Yes, the Spinner's Choice tour, like that definitely helped seal. But at the end of the day, Brian put up a good fight. John just was able to seal it. Wouldn't you agree?
I would. It was a very good match. I'm glad I was here for it. And that's, yeah.
Put those taquitos in the toaster. Let's see how our players are feeling in the post-match interview.
Will do.
Brian, valiant effort. You did very well in round 1. You were very close to John, especially for like the majority of round 1. You two were going tit for tat.
The same as both of us.
Yeah, and then round 2, I don't know if it's a category you wanted. You were able to work through it, a lot of multiple choice, and then when it's that category versus John's like clear biggest strength, it's definitely hard to come back from. Any regrets not throwing a bet out in round 3? You hit the James Bond question, you hit the Criminal Underworld question. You maybe could have caught up, but you decided to play it safe. Is there any thoughts about that?
Yeah, for the third round, I wanted to be safe. I didn't want to risk losing in case the question was one that I'm not that confident in. So it's best to be safe for that one. Round 2, same category, got my team match. Did pretty well in that one. Navigated multiple choice pretty well. And yeah, me and John have some great minds. We both had 0 in round 3, and we both gave all the same exact answer most of round 1.
Nice. Love it. Well, Brian, you are unfortunately 0-2 now, but you've played 2 very good people. I have to imagine if you were to play someone on an 0-2 level, maybe not someone who's 0-2, but someone with a record of comparable size, I think you would fare pretty well. Is there anyone out there you've seen play that you think you could take on?
Probably someone like not a great record, maybe like 0-2 or 1,
sure,
around there, or maybe Bridget Cowell could be a fun match to face off against her.
I like that. Yeah, Bridget's a great match. Absolutely. I love that. We'll see if we can make that happen. But Brian, congratulations on a match well played, even though it didn't go your way. I'm sure we'll see you again soon, especially in teams. Exactly. But we will definitely see you again this year. Thanks for being here, Brian, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds good.
John, that was real tortoise in the hair type of finish there. If the hair and the tortoise also didn't.
Yeah, if neither one of them were running the entire time, yes. I've been told in my life that I'm a charismatic person. I've been told I'm a magnetic person. I have never been able to, through a computer screen, force someone to mathematically eliminate themselves from a match. Never done it before. But you've seen it here. That's a fandom first. Jack Pinchuk, write an article about that for the fucking webpage. Let's do it.
I wish I could say that was a fandom first, John, but unfortunately, it's definitely not.
I'm going to say it is, though. So I'm going to just dispute that. I'll challenge here.
Very fair. John, despite the ending where that happened, you still did very well throughout the match leading up. And not just because you spun horror. You still did 7 for 10 in round 1, which is not a score that a person who loses all the time puts up. So thoughts on – I used to ask Bill – like I really mean it when I make the Mark comparisons or the Bill comparisons. I used to ask Bill the same question. Thoughts on if you might actually be good at this?
with each passing match, I will have watched more movies. Like I said, I'm saving that the weird little British fellas for last. I've seen lots of the movies. I've probably seen more than half of the movies, at least by a wide margin. I was a child once. I watched all those Disney movies. I have children. I've seen the Pixar and DreamWorks movies. I need to rewatch them in this lens. So like before this match, I watched them. So if I had spun Pixar, I'd been aces because I rewatched a ton of that stuff with a critical eye. Of course, horror icons. If I could spin that every match, oh Nelly, I'm coming for that belt. But besides that, I got to clean up the core stuff. Definitely.
Absolutely. Will, thoughts on John's fandom prospects?
I was very shocked when John said that he wanted to give fandom a shot. But then I started thinking about it. No one really studies the way that John does. Like, this is a guy who is able to crank out like almost entire franchises in one day. Like, this is just a guy that just knows how to put the pedal to the metal when he needs to. And so when he actually starts studying these films on a regular basis, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I think people are really going to be in for a difficult time if they face him once he starts doing that. Right now he's at 1-1, which is exactly where I thought he was going to be after this match. So I think now is where the tides are about to start turning here.
Absolutely. Well, John, you will have a chance to turn those tides rather quickly as you put your newly found skills up against not one other opponent, but 4. John, you find yourself in one of the 5-way fandom play-ins to make it into the tournament, possibly, if you can win that 5-way. I know every other person in that 5-way, so I can tell you right now, you'll get another shot at Eric Moreno. You'll get to take on Dean Manis. You'll get to take on Kaiser Wang. And perhaps the greatest of all victories anyone could possibly have is Jack Pinchuk will also be one of those 5 people.
First of all, I like Jack. If you had switched Jack and Kaiser, then you have my personality down pat. Kaiser deserves to lose every match, and I like him. He should just lose all the time. That Jack should win all the time because if you had been in that Kingsman chat when I was in that Kingsman chat, oh boy, the shit they would say to that guy. Only person that takes more abuse is Payson Johnson. And that's what I'll say. I'm pulling the curtain back. That poor boy. I love Jack Pinchuk, greatest Canadian in the community.
Canadian. I thought you said comedian. I was like, what?
He's not a good comedian, but he is a great Canadian.
Absolutely. John, I think you fared pretty well in that. If you can win that, you will find yourself in the summer tournament, especially with the way you've played in both your matches so far. I think you have a bright career ahead of you. So congratulations on the win, and we'll see you real soon.
Thank you, Nick.
Anna, final thoughts on the match. Did you learn anything? Was it exciting? Go.
It was exciting. The first half, honestly, really seemed like a nice and even one. But then, John got that darn spinner's choice spin. And you know what? Honestly, it's good to see some horror icons get some good recognition because usually everyone hates it.
Everyone hates those, yeah.
I know. That's why I want to watch them.
Yeah, what? Yes, that'll bring us to the end of this match. Thank you to John. Thank you to Brian. Thank you to Will for managing. Thank you to Anna for hosting. Thank you to Tim for editing this one. Thank you to Ellie for making sure that my taquitos would get cold. And thank you to all you for checking out this match. Be sure to check out all the other exciting matches going on the channel. And we'll see you next time with another exciting episode of Fandom Fights.